You are listening to Open Mic Live. This is Rio Paris. This is one of the greatest podcasts in the universe. Make sure you stay tuned in.
Warning, the following program may contain moments of great personal reflection, sudden and striking realizations, things you should not try at home, the truth about cats and dogs, incomplete thoughts, rambling gibberish, completely ridiculous opinions, winning lottery numbers, things you could really care less about, barking dogs, and unfortunately, Mike and Stan.
Who likes to be silly? I like to be silly.
What kind of radio show is this?
This town needs an enema.
It's about to get all stupid up in here!
Get up, get on up.
Welcome to Open Mic Live right here on OpenMicTheShow.com. There you can get involved, play games with us and more every Thursday at 7 p.m. You can also find our friends and family, Spicoli TV, tomorrow night at 9, tonight at 10 Eastern, Nitwit.tv, Comics Brews, a podcast you can catch on there, and everything IRN, Happy Hour, Double Special, and more. Check them out. What's going on today's show, Stan?
Well, tonight, as usual, we'll have our FLoridiots stories. We'll talk about dumbasses in Florida. We will be going over quotes, fun quotes. Some you know, some you don't know. But as I started researching this, there's some funny shit out there, actually.
Make America great.
I said fun.
Oh.
Quotes, not shit that you're sick of freaking
Make American grapes again.
Right, exactly. We'll be playing a couple games, Mike's Game of the Week and Stanley Feud. We'll be doing all of this with the hilarious comedian Tim Chirikalov. Is that right?
Very good.
I did it?
Very good. You did it.
I've been saying that shit for like 3 days now, hoping that it was right, and I wouldn't
paid
forget
off.
it. You did? It was
Absolutely.
right?
I've heard much worse.
Have you?
Absolutely.
Like what?
5 minutes ago. No.
Yeah. Well,
You tried it? What'd you say?
I was more of a
Chirikalov.
It was syllables. I was sounding it out.
It's more intimidating than it looks intimidating. You just
Right.
sound out the letters.
Exactly.
You'll
Right.
get
It's
through
not
it.
that hard, right?
No, not at all.
I mean, but like, what are some of the weirdest ones you've heard? I mean,
I've gotten cherry Coke. I've literally.
That was
gotten
just a joke, though,
cherry
right?
Coke. This was middle school, so. It's
Oh,
before
I
we learned how
got
to
you.
read.
So all the bullshit you had to hear there.
I don't know. I went to a pretty dumb middle school, so.
So do you just? Is it Tim C? Most places you go.
That's my stage name, just to get
Tim
past.
C.
But I'm
Right.
starting to work it in.
Are you?
Just so you know, I got it. What am I going to do about it?
I can't change it, right? Tim Chi.
Well, you see that where actors, comedian actors on TV or whatever, they keep the same name.
Right.
You can't be like Roseanne. I mean, you can't just use Tim.
Right. Well, not yet. The symbol Tim.
The symbol Tim.
I'll work that
The
in.
artist known as Tim.
The artist known as
The
Tim.
artist formerly known as Chirikalov. Exactly. So, yeah, today we're going to be doing quotes because as I was going through your stuff, I noticed that you had a few that you liked in your stuff.
Sure.
Right. You know what's funny is every time I mention to someone, something that is in their shit that they wrote, they have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about.
I don't.
I know.
I remember maybe writing quotes somewhere years
Somewhere,
ago.
sometime.
But
Do you write your jokes?
Of course,
do
I
you
write my
write
jokes.
everything down?
Those quotes. I mean, they're not my quotes. That's why.
Right, of course, right.
Point of a quote.
But I mean, like one of them was, remember, you're unique just like everyone else.
That one I like. Yeah.
That's nice, right?
Yeah.
I like that a lot,
Yeah.
actually. Which brings me to this one: be yourself. Everyone else is already taken.
Right. I forgot who wrote that. It's
That's
some
Oscar
artist.
Wilde.
That's it. That's it. An author wrote
That's
that one.
it's an author. How do you know that? Oh, I didn't even know that.
Oscar Wilde? Yeah, he's a poet. Yeah,
You knew that?
even I know
writes
that,
stuff.
dummy.
Makes quotes. At least.
I didn't know that, bro. Jesus.
It's wild.
Wow,
Yeah, he's got
dude.
some great quotes.
Really?
Yeah, don't ask me what they are, but they're pretty good.
You've written, right? You've written stuff,
Of course.
right? I don't mean jokes.
Oh, like poems?
Oh, have you written poems? Will you write me one?
I sure.
No. I'm just
Do you like
asking.
haikus? Oh.
Yes.
Here's another one, Thomas Edison. I haven't failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work.
That's good.
I like that, right?
That's my theory on my jokes.
Exactly. That's
A
why.
lot of these jokes.
Well, that's a very I guess keen look to look at when you say Donald Trump has failed at a lot of businesses. He's still a billionaire. I mean, what have you done?
Right.
You're
I'm
not
not a
gonna-
billionaire.
You're right. You're not going to win at everything you do.
Right.
You're not?
I mean, you're not. I am.
I win at everything
I'm
I
unique,
do.
just like you.
Except for cornhole.
What?
I don't
It's all
have
about
no
confidence.
Confidence?
It's all about confidence.
Is that what it is?
Just like cornhole. Yeah.
Yeah,
just
look at where it got Donald Trump.
that couple $1 billion.
No one. This one is kind of appropriate for what's going on right now. No one can make you feel inferior without your consent.
That's under a quote.
That's a quote. No. These are just ones I found.
These are random.
Yeah, no.
You totally
the
wrote
first
that.
one was from yours.
I believe. I mean, if you feel if you get offended, for example, that's just your ego.
Right?
That's just your own ego saying, "This is no. This is me. You're hurting me." Like, well, fuck you.
They're words.
Sorry,
right?
yeah.
Fuck off.
Exactly.
I mean, and this goes back to Eleanor Roosevelt.
Right.
You know, this was like the original butthurt freaking comment, basically, right? Stop being butthurt. I mean, even Eleanor Roosevelt knew that people were bitches.
Well, it's either true or it's not true.
I mean, and like right now,
That's
with
deep.
all these freaking people that need therapy because of an election. It's like, this is a goddamn presidential election. You should.
I saw a protest on the way here.
Did you really?
Going through downtown Tampa in some bill. They were blocking traffic. I'm like, come on.
I took the day off.
Good.
I mean, that's ridiculous.
It's you know.
I mean, they're crying, like they're bawling. They're shutting down colleges and shit over this stuff.
Yeah, bitching on Facebook's not enough anymore. Now we got to make
Can
signs.
I tell you that
Right, we gotta make exactly.
I was super excited to watch some of these people crying. Like, that really made me happy. And I didn't even vote for them. But that was really fun to watch.
Yeah. People are really emotional. Emotions are very high.
I mean, it seems to be increasingly that way more and more as the years go on, right? I mean, people are just sensitive as shit anymore.
I think so. Yeah, it's like, look at me whine. You know, take to the internet, take to the streets, and I think it'll pass. It's just a trend. What?
It's gonna have to.
As far as from an entertainment standpoint, I love it.
Like he said, right?
This is great entertainment.
It's
The more the merrier. As long as the tanks don't come in.
Right.
Tears are funny.
Yeah, I read my quote earlier this week. In fact, there was something like, "There's not more stupid people in the world. It's just that it's easier for them to get their views out and across."
Yeah.
And I think that's what we're seeing a lot of. I mean, it's funny because if you just graze at it, the stereotypes of, you go to college and you're a liberal Democrat, like, it's there.
Right.
The crybaby, boo hoo, ha ha.
Yeah.
What was that movie? PCU. Have you ever seen that?
Sounds like a movie.
It's exactly about the stereotypes of college, and even for now, it's true today, 20 years later.
Right. 100 years ago, 50 years ago, there's always been stupid people. It's just now there's the internet and there's people.
They're exposed.
Yeah, exactly. They have an outlet to bring out their stupidity.
Ironically, it was for smart people to transfer information.
Right.
Suckers.
And what sucks is they come out there and they show how stupid they are, and then when you pick on them, they cry about you picking on them.
Oh, right. Don't underestimate stupid people in large numbers.
Right. Exactly. They're dangerous. They're like ants, bro. They will ruin something.
We vote for Trump. I mean, what?
No, you did not vote for Trump, and I didn't vote at all, so I have nothing to say.
No?
I've never voted.
No? Ever?
Never. I don't think I ever will. I don't care.
Right.
Just here to watch.
Exactly.
Really is.
Have fun, guys.
You're going to wake up tomorrow, you're going to go tell jokes, you're going to go to work, you're going to do whatever the fuck you got to do, no matter who's in there, right?
Right.
Regardless.
Yeah. As long as I'm entertained and have something to look at.
Exactly.
But local, though, because local does affect you.
Sure. Well, I'm not local. I mean, I'm not even. I've been in Tampa for about a year and a half.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah.
Then don't
Coming
vote.
up on 2.
Cool,
Yeah.
please don't vote.
I'm here on Earth just to watch and write some stuff down and eat food. That's really
I don't want to contribute at all.
Well.
So here's another one by Steve Martin that I like. I kind of like a lot, actually. I like a woman with a head on her shoulders. I hate necks.
That's good. That's great.
I like that a lot, actually. George Carlin. When I trace the turkey, it comes out looking exactly like my hand.
Yeah.
You do that in school? Were they still doing that when you were?
Oh, yeah. We decorate and put feathers on it. Really,
right.
Next level stuff there.
That next level.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That was like in Christmas, they do the cotton ball Santa Claus beer.
Yeah, absolutely.
It just gives your mother something to put on the refrigerator for a while,
This
right?
is my stupid kid.
On the microwave. That's where that one made
microwave?
it.
Dude, I had a little turkey. My hands were never very big, so my turkeys always look kind of partially special, if you will.
Yeah, especially if you have crooked fingers, you're a disabled turkey.
Exactly.
Turkeys are pretty much a disabled bird.
Who broke that turkey's neck?
Yeah, right, he can't fly. It's useless.
They drown in the rain. That's a dumb bird.
That's dumb.
So here's one
really dumb bird.
that is not by someone famous, but fart when someone hugs you. It makes them feel strong.
Oh, well, farts are great.
But as soon as someone squeezes you, if the fart comes out, they feel like they've done something.
Strong and awkward.
Right, and awkward. It might make them stop squeezing you.
It reminds me of that.
It's the last hug they'll give you.
Right, exactly.
Was that Steve Martin? Can I go to the bathroom? The scene that they played in Side Splitters, where what is that? That's Scoundrels. He's sitting at the table. He's like, "Excuse me, can I go to the bathroom?" Oh, sure. And then he just right there. Steve Martin.
I love Steve Martin. You like Steve Martin?
One of the best.
Dirty Rat
Yeah?
Scoundrels.
One of the best.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, of the older actors, I mean, is he one of the people that you like? I mean, he's not really-
He just revolutionized stand-up comedy.
he did, right?
I mean, he was his own
entity.
Yeah, there's no one else like him.
Yeah, exactly. It
Brought a whole new level just of performance, of comedy, of
at that point, and then there's different ones along the way that
Yeah.
did the same thing, but
the imitator. He's an original.
Exactly.
It's very hard to be an original, and he was one.
I mean, do you like one-liner comics?
I like it all. I appreciate all forms of comedy.
Funny's funny, right?
Yeah,
regardless.
absolutely. Mm-hmm.
I love that. So I'd rather laugh with the sinners than die with the saints.
I agree with that.
Do you?
No,
Hell
go with
yeah.
that. Doesn't like to laugh.
Do you?
Well, what makes a saint? You know, it's so good. I feel like a saint just sits at home drinking tea.
Exactly.
That's not fun.
Exactly.
You know?
That was by the great Billy Joel. So Marilyn Monroe. This one is not so funny. Imperfection is beauty. Madness is genius. And it's better to be absolutely ridiculous than absolutely boring. Which is going with exactly what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
Fucking have fun. Smile.
Yes,
Laugh. God
yes.
damn. Stop being so serious, people.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, Mike's serious. This freaking guy, bro, he's angry all the time.
Why?
Because he needs more of you people in his life.
I need more
Take
hugs
it
for
easy.
that make me fart.
Hey, need more farts in your life.
All right, last one before we kind of move on to the viral. Have no fear of perfection. You'll never reach it. You ever try to be perfect? Have you ever been around someone that thinks they're perfect?
I think what is perfect.
Logan
this is
Charles
what's-
says, Tim, don't wear panties. This is real talk.
Yeah, that's my. Why would
don't?
you wear panties? I don't wear no panties. No panties here.
No panties Thursday. Woo!
No panties
Fantastic.
Thursday.
Got this shit.
Jesus Christ.
I love that. So neither one of us are wearing panties. I feel way too close to you right now.
Great.
Well, me neither. So
You're not wearing panties either?
nope.
I say we all prove it right now. No, I'm just kidding.
I think there's guidelines that we do have to follow.
Guidelines.
I mean,
Facebook Live.
we can
here
say
go.
fuck, but when we dangle our balls,
Subscription
Shit is
fees.
crazy.
You don't start charging for this.
Exactly.
dangle our turkey gobbler. All right, so you want to move over to this cool thing?
Surf's up. See you on the net.
Love this theme song.
On your mark, get set. We're riding on the internet. Cyberspace set free. Hello, virtual reality.
Interactive appetite, searching for a website, a window to the world, got to get online.
Take a spin, now you're in with the techno set. You're going surfing on the internet.
All right, so today what I found was something that I think I might like more than our listeners, which is pretty common. But some of our listeners, I think, will really, at least one of them, T. Monty, will actually like this one. So the internet, YouTube is famous for smashing and mashing up things, and this one here is actually a Yorkie, and on the next page there's his name, but I don't see it right now. So they took a Yorkie, and they took the little 30-second clip of a Wham, and they made the Yorkie sing a cool song.
Gotta love the internet.
And then they got crazy. I don't know what happened with this video. It just took a turn and just blew up on me.
It's a remix.
I was really hoping that the video was going to make the audio better. It didn't.
No, it
This
does
is-
totally. Take on Dog. So Take on Me. That one does.
Right.
That one helps.
It does?
Yeah, we'll watch this. Oh, never mind. That just got crazy. Oh, that's why we did that. Look at the dog. You remember the Take on Me? That's the one with the.
Yeah.
Those are really talented animals.
They are. Look at the eyes. Totally.
That's great.
He looks like he wants to eat me.
All right.
Scary. He's got blood on his cheek. He's already freaking bit into somebody.
Yeah, it needs a hug.
He does need a hug.
I need a hug. Where did that come from? Oh, well, anyway, fine. That's your bio for the week.
Shall we play a game?
Pop quiz, hot shot.
Because he broke the rules.
Welcome, Christina
You
Vidito.
did it! You did it! I knew you would! I just knew you would!
Let's just do it. Let's meet this thing head on. And you were in it to win it.
All right. So I thought I was going to be a little creative this week and use the presidential race for my quiz, and then I decided against that because I don't really care.
So you are actually
that's right,
an intricate part of this. These
cool.
have points on them.
Okay.
You don't look at them. You just pick one out, you hold it up, and that's what that question is worth.
I see.
And you also will be answering and playing against the listeners.
Okay, you're going down, listeners.
That's what I'm saying.
That's usually the attitude you have to have. All right, so the first question is worth how many points?
This one is worth 7.
7 points. 7 points. Impotence is grounds for divorce in how many U.S. states?
All of them.
Oh, my God. Somebody was really quick on that one.
23, 18, 22.
Oh, it's multiple choice?
Just pick a number.
These are answers people are giving us.
Oh, I see.
We're just reading them as they come in.
Oh, I
see.
see.
Got 5, 12, another all of them.
So you can pick a number. You can prices right them.
Well, they have the internet.
So do
So
you.
I can look on the internet as well?
Yeah, if you want to.
Sure.
That's not fun.
No,
They're
well,
they're
I can
usually
tell you right
pretty
now,
honest.
they're not cheating because no one's gotten it right yet.
Oh. Can I guess again?
Yeah.
7.
Okay. That's funny. That was the last answer that came up right before you said it. 6, 10, 7, 12, 22, 5. It should be all of them.
I think this would have been faster if I just counted 1 to 50.
Or you can only give one answer.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
Right. Yeah, it's not the mountain game on the Price is
Oh,
Right.
right.
They can use Google, but you
it's the
can't
first
just
one to
count.
say it.
Yeah.
Right.
No.
Still no.
So 7. No one's gotten it right, but the closest will get the 7 points
All right,
anyway. So go ahead.
24, and Florida is one of those states.
It is.
I made sure I looked that up.
Don't tell my wife that.
I looked that up for you, buddy. Sorry.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Also, Nitwit, Alabama. Also one of those. All right. Next question is worth how many points?
This one is worth 5. 5 points.
5 points. So 1 penny doubled every day becomes how much dollars in 30 days? How many dollars? How much money?
1 penny doubled. I remember
doubled.
doing this problem in high school.
Every day. Yeah,
I failed this class,
It's actually a 30-day challenge.
I'm going to say 1.4 million.
1.4 million. A penny doubled every day becomes how much money, how many dollars in 30 days? That's actually proper.
$6.
Just sounds
$60.
Listener must be from Alabama.
That's 30, right? 1 penny and then 30.
I think they're from upstate New York. Same shit.
We're gonna 6 to 60. I have a feeling these
You
people
said what?
1.4 million.
1.4 million.
These people are mathing.
They're mathing. Now they're Googling.
They're definitely going. They're probably
Another $60.
now. That's 60 cents.
$80.
1 penny doubled every day becomes how much money?
17 trillion.
Absolutely. Scott wins. We don't even need to play anymore.
Don't know.
17 T-bones.
I'm kind of surprised by the answer, though. Like, if I didn't see the answer in front of me because I have to keep score.
I think it's definitely over $1 million. It's something ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean,
The original question is like, would you rather have $1 million or a penny doubled every day for a month?
I got you.
Yeah, I remember
I got
that.
you.
I remember how
And
much
you go
they
with the
got.
penny. It sounds
Right.
too good to be true.
Because it's $1 million and 2 cents.
Right, it's more than... That's how I'd like to find that job. It's like, well, on your first day, we're going to give you a penny, but...
On the second day.
On the second day,
yeah,
get 2
yeah.
pennies. But hold on.
That's exactly how this was
more,
presented to me. However, I don't remember this being the number.
1 penny doubled is 2 pennies each day. No, you continue to double it.
After I can't count past 14.
Like I said, New York. I don't math.
Well,
we don't usually math on this show.
Let's put it this way. After 29
yeah, not generally.
After 29 days, you'd have 2.5 million. So 30 days, you would have $5 million.
So you get it.
I won.
You
get it.
In your face, listeners.
You want to quit while you're ahead, or you want to take a penny a day? For the next
Well, I am
5
not
days?
ahead. I lost to 7 points. I only won 5.
Oh, okay.
You
Well,
do
you
get
need to
5.
play some more.
I got to keep going.
All right. What's the next one word?
Next one is 8 points.
8 points.
Or infinity. Can I win just
get
with
all the
I
points.
get all the
Hell
points.
You
yeah.
get all the points. All right. People photocopying their bums are the cause of what percentage of worldwide photocopier faults?
Whoa, what?
What percentage of people break a photocopier by photocopying their ass worldwide?
So how many fat people freaking make copies of their
People
ass?
sit on the glass and break their
Yeah.
ass. Wait.
I think there's like a step stool they get up
Right, exactly.
to do that.
Exactly. Well,
Explain
you know
that.
their friend's not lifting them up.
Right, yeah. Help me out here. I want to pray.
Exactly.
It's Janet, the secretary.
Well, this shit's gonna be funny as they're sitting in the freaking.
Yeah, that's
copier.
gotta hurt too. It's glass and
all the little
lasers and
glasses.
stuff.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
I've seen. I don't know if I've seen the real things or on TV, but I can only imagine.
Yeah.
You sit and.
I'd love to see the write up for that, or like the disciplinary meeting for that.
Or the workman's comp claim.
Yeah.
I just want to see their butt cheeks while that thing's going trying to scan the fucking thing in there.
It's all cracked.
We got a 15%, a 5%, a 10%, a 9%, 20, 23, 27. What you got?
I'm gonna go with the 18%.
18.
And the actual retail price is 3, 2, 1, 23%.
I wanted to say 23.
And Dale nailed it.
I'm not even like I think that's an acceptable number for some reason. I think that's a really
23.
good solid worldwide number.
1 out of every 5 workers is fat. It's too fat for a copy machine.
Right.
All right. I love this question. How many number 4? How many points is this one worth?
This one is worth 4. Number 4 is worth 4.
The average adult produces about how many farts per day?
Oh.
Depends on how many times they get hugged by a strong guy.
There was some mathematical thing to this, so I just simplified it.
13.
13.
Is Mike average?
13
Mike is above
farts.
average.
You got a 10.
Mike cleared this number before 7 o'clock today.
Jesus Christ, bro. That's ridiculous. Why don't
Between
you
the
just take your
hours of
shit and get
6
it over with?
It's a lot of farts.
Oh, I'm just going to fart all day. Get rid of it.
I need a hug.
Oh, is that what it is?
We've talked about this.
13, 7, 10, 20. You said 13 as well?
I said 13. Probably go higher. Should probably go higher now that I think about it.
We got a 10, a 20, 26. We got a couple 10s on the board. 2 13s with yours. A 37. Jesus Christ, 25.
Damn it, Scott.
37.
He's mad as shit that Trump won.
It's the same guy who's breaking the copy machines.
Scott is.
See, if I were to guess this, I'd probably guess like 8. 7, 8, 9, something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I underestimate the power of the gas because I had no idea. It's a big number
It's a
to me.
Well, okay, but in fairness, there was a amount. So there was amount of methane produced or gas produced, which equates to 14 farts per day. About 14.
14.
Farts. Yep. So the average person would produce whatever the amount of gas would equal to about 14.
I actually had a big farting problem when I was a kid growing up. I'd hold them in, and it'd all come out when I'd sleep, and in my room would be a gas chamber.
Are you serious?
The next morning, my parents would not even come into my room.
I mean, why did you hold them in?
I don't know. It was a weird kid. It was,
I mean, you just feel guilty about
I'd always be just constipated all the time.
Really?
Just the whole
That
time.
would- I was going to say, how would your body know whether it's a fart or it's a shit?
Yeah, as a kid,
You
just
intentionally
hold it.
didn't
I didn't
fart?
like pooping. Wasn't big on taking shits. It took too much time.
No cell phone.
You didn't have
anything to
exactly.
play.
Didn't have a Game Boy. Didn't have
for
anything.
one thing and one thing only.
Right.
God, we had to read every fucking shampoo bottle. I know exactly how many times to rinse lather and
Man,
repeat.
until I turned into my 40s, I used to love shitting, and now it just sucks. To be honest
And
with you.
that's obligation.
Or it hurts. Yeah.
You can get stuff done now.
Right.
All right, the next question is worth how many points?
This one is worth 2.
2 points.
Let's not try so hard, folks.
The average person spends about how many years in line?
In line?
In
Period.
line.
It's grocery store, theme park, no matter what. In line, period.
Years.
How many years does the average person stand in a goddamn line? It does feel like 17. I am LM. I'm sorry, but that looks like
I'm going to say 2.
I'm Dale.
Is it more than 1 year?
It is. It is. There's a number.
All right, 2 years. I'm going 2 years. I hate lines.
30 years? Jesus Christ. It feels like it.
So throughout your
If
life,
you're
how
Walmart.
many years have you spent standing in line?
I want to say this absolutely does not count as red lights.
Right.
No. Standing in line. That's not standing.
I think
in line.
I think it's a direct proportion of how many times you go to Walmart.
Smitty, welcome. So we have the 17.
And they have the most
17 years,
registers.
5 years, 30
Right,
years.
Exactly.
That's what I figured you'd say.
Some lady farted during an operation recently and caught fire. 8 years, 45 years, 1 year, 10 years, 4 years. I hate lines, bro. And don't try to get in the shorter line at the grocery store.
Never gonna work.
It's gonna backfire every fucking time.
I like farting in line.
Welcome, Terry.
That's what I'm.
That's the best place to do it.
I'm gonna just run up and hug somebody and make them fart.
Yeah, just go hugs.
You need a hug.
Let's speed this line up. Let's go.
Deuces.
That'll do it.
Deuces works too.
Don't move to another line. All of a sudden, you're at the front.
Yeah,
that's perfect. I never thought
Fight
of
your
that.
way to the front.
I'm gonna start
I
trying to do
usually
that.
have like a handful of stuff, so I walk past the line to the customer service.
Oh yeah,
I'm that guy.
Okay.
Because I don't care.
'Cause I don't care.
10 items, my ass. All right, the answer is 5 years. The average person spends about 5 years in a damn line.
It's depressing.
And we love every minute of it.
So Matt said 5 years.
All right, let's do a score update.
We have LM with 7. We have Tim with 9. Endale with 12. And Matt with 2. How many questions we got left?
We got, I got 1 or 2, depending on how it
We
works.
got 2.
Let's do- The next one
2 left here.
is worth how many points? 9?
Is that 19?
It's a 91.
It's 91 points.
It's a 91 points.
No, it was 16 because our last guest decided that 6 was not enough for him. So
He wanted
needed 16
more.
points.
Oh, I see. Well, why did he make the bottom on top?
He may have been happy that marijuana passed for
I see.
medical.
So it's either 91 or 16.
It's
Yeah.
16.
Was that
16 points. It's 16 with an accent.
It's 16 points.
16.
It's 16 points, eh? All right. Banging your head.
Yes, he says.
Banging your head against the wall burns how many calories an hour?
Banging. Well, it's like a new CrossFit regimen they're
Well, it can't be
implementing.
many because I'm getting fatter every day, and I would be losing weight.
What is that? Quiet Riot?
Doing the
Bang
wrong
your head?
form.
Yeah.
It's all about technique.
Right, exactly. It was a workout song.
It's called Whiplash, but okay.
How many calories an hour? Who the fuck bangs their head on the wall for an hour?
Apparently
Without a
somebody
helmet?
enough to know that it's blank calories per hour.
We have a 42, 75, 50, 40, 58.
I'm going to go with 80. 88 calories.
80. Love Burns with a 150. Nitas with a 500.
Going in high, jeez.
You're dreading a workout.
Going all out.
Does it depend on how hard and fast you hit the fucking
Apparently
wall?
it does.
What kind of work? It just strengthen your neck, I guess. How'd you get so ripped? I bang my head 4 hours a day.
Look at that guy's neck.
It's all that standing in line. You're just wasting time. All right, let's do this. 1 year works 1 hour per year. I'm not doing the math on that. That's a lot of calories.
No math. No more math on this show.
All
no
right.
politics.
Well, let's make
no
sure we got
abortion
a
talk and no
winner.
math.
No
Or,
politics.
no religion.
I was going to say, who the hell are we?
What are we if we're not math?
Meth?
Well, that's different.
Oh.
It's a different show.
That's just fun.
That's way more than 150 calories an hour.
It's after midnight, yeah.
Right, exactly.
420. I love that answer, but no. Did I ever? I did do that for some reason. La 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 la. I copy and pasted the whole question again for no reason.
Mom's Pepsi, welcome.
Hi, Mom's
She
Pepsi.
comes in with 2 hours.
All I wanted was a Pepsi.
I guess woodpeckers are workout machines.
That's why they're
shit.
so
That
thin.
logic, yeah.
Those things are pricks too. If they ever hit your house, you get rid of them ASAP. They are mean.
Really?
They will peck all your wood. I have damage up in the front end.
They'll peck all your wood.
They'll peck all your wood.
These damn woodpeckers.
I said that on person. They'll peck your metal too.
It's only in the fucking name, bro.
No, they'll peck your metal too. They'll peck.
Oh, they will?
They'll peck the aluminum.
Metal peckers.
Oh, metal peckers.
They'll wake you up at like 6 a.m.
I thought metal peckers were for the top drawer.
All right. Bang your head against the wall burns 150 calories an hour. Do we have a winner?
Yes,
No.
Love Burns nailed it with 150.
Love
She won the
Burns.
She must have won the game with that.
It's an appropriate name.
It is.
Love Birds.
She did win it with 16 or 91 or whatever the hell.
16, eh?
We're supposed to change that out.
And then we subtract 3. All right. Fine. On that note, we're going to take a break. When we come back,
we're going to talk with Tim Chirikalov. All about him. This is
Me.
all about you.
All about Tim.
Go me.
Holy crap. All right. That's it for us. We'll be back. You're listening to Open Mic Live. I didn't even play that.
It's a challenge for me.
That's good.
Because I don't look it up. I just try and then I take a shot. He's like, holy shit.
Yeah.
I think that's a confidence thing too. Like if I look at him like, I don't know how to do that, and then I just panic, and then I just call you Tim C.
Yeah.
So, welcome back to Tim Chirikalov's segment. This is all about Tim C.
Welcome back.
So anyway, thanks for coming in, brother. We appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Shit.
Thanks for having me.
I mean, why? Why in the hell are you here?
I was bored, I guess.
No.
Thursday night, what was it? The Browns and Ravens on. So
yeah, nothing good on TV, so I'm here.
John Jacobs didn't need a ride somewhere, so
right. My schedule's free.
Right. So anyway, so everyone gets to know you a little bit. You're 27, right?
27.
Now you've already said you've only lived in Tampa about a year and a half or so
Mm-hmm.
in that area. Are you were born in the Ukraine?
I was born in the Ukraine. Yep.
How old were you when you moved over here?
We flew over here when I was 5.
Oh, really?
5 years old.
So you didn't like grow up over there or nothing?
No. It's just a fun fact that I was born over there and have a last name to prove it.
Yeah,
do you
exactly.
keep in touch with the family? Are you like, is the distance a problem?
I know I visited once, and I know I have family over there, but I don't keep in contact with them.
I have a cousin that's from Germany and kind of a similar concept where it's such a far reach that I have a cousin. Oh, okay.
Like I'm friends with a few of them on Facebook, and I'll see like a picture or two every now and then. But my parents will tell me, "Oh, so and so did this." I was like, "Oh, cool."
Like social media, man.
Yeah.
10 years ago, that was barely a thing.
Yeah. Well,
I couldn't keep in touch with some of my friends. My family.
I mean, I don't care what anyone says. I love Facebook because it does keep. I can find old friends.
Yeah, absolutely. No,
it's definitely go spend time with them.
It definitely has its benefits.
Right. I mean, it's got its downfalls too, right?
Of course, it's a huge time waster, and
God,
you got
so much shit you got to weed through to get to the good stuff.
Yeah.
Especially with like this election shit going on, and
oh yeah,
like my one buddy posted. All right, the election's over. Back to the food pics. It's like no
and
shit.
I ran 2 accounts with 3 business pages and too much stuff.
How do you do it?
So
it's too much.
I'm on there, and you live in Tampa.
I do.
You're from the Ukraine, but it says that your home is Athens, Georgia.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, are you on the run or something? I don't understand. Your home is Athens, Georgia, but you live here.
Well, here's a long story short. We were refugees from Ukraine, and my aunt, my mom's sister, was the first one to come over to USA, and she contacted my mom. She's like, "Hey, it's great over here. Come on over." And so our sponsor lived in Athens, Georgia, and next thing you know,
your sponsor. Now, what exactly is that?
Kind of like how you have a sponsor in Alcoholics Anonymous. I feel like they have that same thing in refugee.
It's the same type of thing. Like they help you cope with.
A mediator or a.
Well, like NASCAR, for example. DuPont's a sponsor of.
I got you.
So they paid for you to come over.
So it's someone that puts stickers on your shirt of their.
Yeah. I have a tattoo of the sponsor's name right here on the side.
I do like. I like the way you. Like I said, I always go in to read, and you guys never remember what the hell you put in there because it's been so goddamn long.
Right.
But I like the way it says about Tim Chirikalov, and the first thing you say is, "I'm Tim." Like.
That's all you need to know. This is my name.
Exactly. How long have you been doing comedy?
Couple years.
Really?
Years. Yep.
So where did you start doing comedy then?
I actually started it in my hometown in Athens.
Really?
Athens is it's got a big music scene. REM started there.
Never heard of her.
Yeah, she's wild.
I mean,
Bubba Sparks, I think.
Okay.
From around there.
How is Athens like as far as like compared to a Tampa, like a big metropolitan?
As far as like square mileage wise, I think it's about the same. But it's a college town.
Okay.
University of Georgia is what it's best known for.
So I mean, how long have you been doing it? Only a couple years?
A little over 2 years. Yeah.
Really? Mm-hmm. So 25 years old, you decided. What made you start doing it?
I was ending college. I was coming up on my on graduation, and I just sat in my room. I was like, what? Just stressed, and I was, what am I going to do with the rest of my life? And
comedy was the decision.
I wish it dawned on me earlier, but I just sat there and thought about it,
right?
And it just kind of clicked. It just came.
Did
my head.
People tell you, man, you need to go do some open mics? I mean, did you have friends around you that kind of?
Well, my best friend growing up, he did an open mic and he brought me out to it, and I cried laughing so hard.
Oh, really? He was that good?
It was the funniest thing. Like seeing it right there in person,
right.
And your friend doing it. It was just the funniest thing.
Now he was your friend though. Now you were sitting in the crowd,
yeah.
Right? However many people was doesn't matter. But was everyone else dying too?
I was for sure laughing the hardest,
right?
And I think that the energy just was spreading. I mean, he killed. And it wasn't a huge crowd. It was an open mic, but to me it was so fun because I know him. I grew up with this kid,
right?
And it's just hearing his outlook on his jokes.
Now,
so
how did it go the first time you went up? I mean, like
I didn't bomb, but it went well. I did well enough to where I thought I could go back and do it again.
Do you think if you bombed, you may not have gone back? Or,
I don't know.
Or do you think it's a party enough that
I think I would have stuck with it.
And so, have you been doing comedy here ever since you moved here, like a year and a half ago or whatever?
Yeah, from the first time.
Right. Have you always been doing it at the Improv?
That was the first place I did comedy in Tampa.
Really?
As soon as I moved to Tampa, I started asking around, and Improv came up. I looked online, got online, found the open mic on Wednesdays.
So that's how you got in there, was doing the open mic?
Yeah, in Tampa. But I was also doing the open mics back in Athens, Georgia. Like I started doing comedy 6 months before I moved to Tampa.
You moved over?
Right.
Who were
just really interesting stuff, guys. Yeah.
What's that? Really interesting stuff. It is kind of. I mean, we've had a lot of these comics in here. You know what I mean? Rio, Jonas, Steve Miller. Like,
yeah, they're awesome.
Who did you attach to first in that group when you first went to Improv? Because they've all been there, right? Since you've been there, or no?
They were all around when I first saw. I didn't really gravitate towards anyone. I just kind of watched from afar.
Right.
And you see who's funny, and that's where you want to surround yourself around funny people.
Right.
You realize you see him on stage, that guy's funny.
Right.
I want to be his friend, hopefully.
That's
how that goes.
Well,
yeah.
Right? Exactly.
And
Hold his pocket, walk around.
Right. And
exactly.
Hug him.
Oh, no more. This friendship's over.
We're boys now.
You're right, exactly. I mean, you've only been doing it a couple years, so I mean, that's not a whole lot of experience, obviously.
No, I'm so fresh.
That doesn't make you you're still hilarious. You know what I mean?
Thanks.
But I mean, at that point, you haven't had a chance to really bomb and hit, and have you?
I've done a couple of shows on the main stage at Improv in front of hundreds of people, and I didn't bomb completely, but I've had bits that didn't work, and it's definitely a wave. Well, you have lull moments where it's like, oh, you kind of feel the pressure, but I think overall, I did decent.
Does that make it feel so much better when you recover from that and get a big ass laugh after that lull?
Absolutely,
that next laugh is worth.
Because
$1 million.
You're up there. I mean, you're up there for just a few minutes. It feels like hours, and it's like you just want to get through this quiet,
right?
Through this awkward silence.
What do you think you have now as far as material? Do you have a half hour, an hour?
Welcome, Larry.
Of good?
Yeah, well, of course, good. No, mediocre. I want to see 45 minutes of your just okay stuff.
Of good material, I think I could do 20 minutes.
Yeah.
20 minutes. I could talk up there for an hour.
Sure.
It's of developed stuff. 20 minutes.
I mean, you've seen the people touring like I've seen Ralphie May and Bert Kreischer, the bigger names, and they can go on. They have 3 hours solid.
Yeah.
So if you can remember, sometimes it's tough. I know because you try to forget it. But Mom's Pepsi asked, What was the biggest bomb of a joke you ever told?
Do you remember that?
We know you try to, bury that shit somewhere, but
biggest.
Don't be scared because
biggest
you can't be
bomb.
As unfunny as us.
Well, it's always usually when you're developing something new,
working it out.
Right. So it's. I had one where I had this. I had like 5 minutes on just bugs. I in college I was an environmental science major, so I just sat there and just learned crap on bugs and dirt and leaves and stuff, and so I kind of worked that in. And during a set at the Improv, there was a lull moment where it didn't go over well. So it was the quietest I've ever seen it in that room.
You don't have to do the whole part of it, but how would you lead into that? How do you lead into fucking bugs jokes? Is what I want to know.
Well,
I ran across this ant one day.
Right, yeah. You wouldn't believe this crazy ant. But it just goes. You just kind of tie it in from the overall theme is bugs.
Right.
And I talk about different bugs, and you try to you tie it in with like be relatable with like a person. You kind of personify it.
So you give that bug a personality.
Sure. Yeah. You give them a voice. You give them a situation to be in. I mean,
do you have different voices that you can do? I mean, not like not imitating people, but can you change your voice to do shit like that?
Sort of. I'm still developing. I'm still learning. I mean,
you want to do that, right? I mean, that's kind of.
Of course. I mean, you want to be.
That's huge, right?
You want to be I am on a good range.
So how many times did you try to hone, redevelop this bug shit until you realize, nah?
I think you're not done with a joke ever. You're always working on a joke.
So there's never been one you just let go, like.
Oh, there's jokes I've stopped doing just because I've outgrown them and I don't think they're fine. Like there's my first. I have this potato joke where I just hate doing it now, but like there's certain rooms that they'll remember me and they request for me to do this joke.
Oh, really?
And I don't like doing it. It's an easy joke, and so. But there's jokes that you outgrow and you develop more as a comic and as a person that you just kind of move on and you go deeper within yourself and find more stuff that you relate to and want to talk about.
Have there ever been jokes that like you thought were okay and worked them in there and then they turned out to be a hit? Like,
yeah, you'll be surprised. You'll go in there thinking that I want to try this out, see how this goes.
And the spider said, "You're driving me up the wall." Fantastic.
They're all telling us bug jokes right now.
Oh yeah.
Stupid ass. Yeah. I swear to God, bro.
He said
it didn't work. He got rid of it.
Yeah, he went to potatoes.
Right.
No, I'm still no. I got rid of the potatoes. I'm still with the bugs. Okay. Quit bugging.
Dirt don't hurt.
Quit bugging.
I'm sorry.
So all these comics they do these open mics. How many of them do you do about a week?
Well, you're really limited to in Tampa. If I'm lucky, if I can do one a day for a week.
Oh, but you try to do at least.
I try to do as many as I can.
Really?
Yeah, I'm doing one right after the show.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Where's that
at? Tonight will be at the Red Star. You're talking
right down the
street.
Yeah. You were just. That's awesome. Hell
it's,
yeah.
That one's a twice a month show.
Oh, really?
But it's.
How many comics do they usually get up there?
15 to 20.
Really?
Tonight.
Yeah.
And how long of a set do you guys do?
5 minutes.
3 minutes. 5
minutes.
Most open mics are 5 minutes.
Really?
Yeah.
So your first open mic at the Improv was about 5 minutes or whatever, right?
Yep. Now, once you get better, of course, you'll find mics with 10 minutes, 15 minutes. There's another mic late tonight. It's a mixed mic that I've done, almost half an hour.
Wow.
Oh, really? Now they got potato jokes. Mr. Potato said to the missus, "I got my eyes on you." I swear to God, I'm sorry. I apologize for these people. I'm reading them out loud just so you feel what I'm feeling right now. Anyway, so when you first started writing the jokes before you went up there, you obviously had to prepare, right?
Of course.
Were you underprepared? Did you think you had more time than you really did prepared?
It's if your first time doing it, the time. You really can't prepare for it.
Right.
You think you know what you're getting into, but you'll forget there's so much going on. You're on stage, you're holding a mic, your nerves are going, you have no perception of time. You can prepare all you want, but you really don't know until you're out there in front of a live audience.
So when you see these people walk up there with notebooks, That's not necessarily terrible. I mean, when you're first starting out,
it's when you're first time. If you're first time doing an open mic, you've had your whole life to think of 5 minutes to talk about.
Right.
You don't really need notes, but
because it's shit that's already come natural to you. I mean, it's shit that it's been there. You're just now
right, but
putting
you
it
can still blank.
I'm not sure. Paul, the old man, he did the side splitters. He's got his notebooks everywhere.
Yeah. I mean, even the big name comics now, they have notes. They'll sneak it in there.
Right.
I've heard, they'll like tape it on the stool
Or made it work.
Right.
He just made that part of his set.
Right. Yeah. The set list, stuff like that.
Jim Jeffries just has a beer mug with his shit all the way around. It
Yeah.
or something like that, right?
Exactly. Jerry Seinfeld will take his notepad up to on stage and reference that.
He's Jerry Seinfeld. He can do that.
Sure. Yeah. But notes. I mean, yeah, because you go up there, you have your idea what you want to talk about. Now, some comics work without notes, where it's like this is like Louis C.K. He just has his
Robin Williams.
Yeah, he has an idea. I'm going to work this out on stage, and they write on stage. But there's different processes.
I've seen a guy that claimed when he got on stage that he was on the fly, and he was funny. Except he dropped F-bombs like the whole time as a crutch.
Right.
And I thought it really took away from...
It does.
If he would have prepared a little bit better, it probably would have been a great set.
Yeah.
And I would have remembered his name.
Yeah, I agree. People use the F-bombs and curse words as a filler because it's dramatic.
Right.
It's like, oh, he's on stage, he's cursing, and so it kind of it takes away from your material.
Have you ever written a joke and without the F-bomb in it, but as you're telling it, it falls into place?
Yeah, you get frustrated. I try to write clean. Because cussing, unless it's a point of emphasis where you absolutely need it.
That's
there.
what I'm saying. You get excited and all of a sudden,
yeah. Well, most of the time when I'm bombing, I'll say, damn it. But
you can all suck it.
I would tell everybody, back in 05, 06, when before Brian was running over at Side Splitters,
right.
The guy before him wasn't letting the young guys, the openers and the host, cuss. They had to do it clean.
Interesting.
And I'd actually seen somebody get chewed out afterwards for dropping an F-bomb.
Right.
And I was like, that was interesting when I heard afterwards these guys coming up there, Cam going up saying fuck and whatever.
Yeah, I don't think you should impede people's speech.
Right.
If you feel like you have to go up there and cut.
It was a different
time.
Does,
yeah. It does take away from what your message, the content.
I mean, I agree with that. I mean, I think you're Richard Pryor's,
right?
I mean, it was him. It was his personality.
Exactly.
It fit. It was perfect.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But a guy that's not just natural for him. He's just doing it for shock value.
Right.
That's not funny.
Yeah. Well, I don't write when I'm writing. I don't write in. Fuck this and goddamn that. I don't write that in.
But do you intentionally not write them in?
I try. Well, if not intentionally, no. If I feel like I in a punchline or I want to make it a point of emphasis, I will write that in.
Sure,
but not all around. F this, F that.
Fuck is really important.
Yeah.
To the cause.
So when you write, it's just free flow.
Yeah,
it's not that you're censoring yourself, or it's not that
exactly.
I'm not going to do this or I'm not going to do that.
Right.
If it falls out, it falls out.
Exactly. You want to get in that flow. You're right.
That's a good comic, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, goddamn, just be yourself. Yeah. Don't force shit.
Absolutely. You find who you are on stage, and if that's part of who you are, then by all means.
Because if you force it, people will read right through it.
Yeah.
Right. Like Cam found out he was JB Ball.
Right. And people saw that right at the roast.
Exactly.
Oh my god.
We went to the roast of Christian Reddy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
But it turned out to be the roast of John Jacobs and Cam Bertrand.
Right. Right. That's funny. Yeah.
Both
which
them
happens.
guys.
Yeah.
Right.
It was just funny because they roasted him, John Jacobs, 2 years prior.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they just were like, hey, John's here. It's about hangers. Wow, you had to be there, apparently.
You did? Have you ever performed at Side Splitters?
I'll do their open mics. I haven't been on it. I just recently started going. I don't like how they charge comics. I don't think anyone likes being charged.
Hold on now. What do you mean? Talk to me.
Do their open mic, they charge you like $10, $11.
Oh, really?
So if I wanted to go in there and do the mic, I'd have to pay $10 to look like an asshole on stage.
Pretty much.
Huh, I didn't know that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we never.
But it's still. I mean,
it's
if you go to any other city, like I understand it's a business. Now the biggest, look at show business. What's the bigger word? Business.
Right.
So I understand it.
So is that common? Like you're saying throughout?
In New York and LA, absolutely, it's common. It's common everywhere.
Right.
Every
You're
open
charging.
mic charges
I would
or a drink minimum.
I would say that
for the comic.
for the comic. Just to
Oh,
perform.
wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say though on the other side is they do a really good job on trying to get people in there.
Yeah.
So when you do get off of the open mic, they do a really good job of giving out tickets. So it really is on the patrons to pay for that,
right?
To kind of to mix it up. I'm not defending or anything. I just see like a different business aspect.
Yeah, no, I understand. So, but to answer the question, I recently just started going. Just feel like this is something this is part of the craft. This is worth it, right?
Sure, maybe
it's another comedy club.
Now, like Side Splitters does it at Sid's Lounge, right? You'll stand up at Sid's. What is the Improv? What is their open mic? Do they do it on the lounge out by the bar?
Yeah, they built a stage especially for the open mics.
Okay, I think I walked past it and never paid attention to it.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
So LM is really impressed because like your answer to the first time you went on stage was kind of the most candid answer, honest answer we've gotten. Because everyone's going, oh, it's nothing, you know what I mean? And you actually were like, you can't prepare for that shit. Very honest. And then as far as like how things function in these clubs, we're not doing it to. It's just what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not about this is good or bad. And because I've asked comics, what's the difference between performing at Improv and Side Splitters? I'm not comparing the two. It's your experience with it. And she's like, you've given the most honest answers yet.
Right. If you want to prepare for an open mic, go in the shower and hold a bar of soap because the thing you want to bring a but that's electrifying.
And then clean up and then try
exactly. Yeah. That's to hold the mic to your face. That's my best advice. You're either going to bomb or not.
Have you literally taken a bar of soap in the shower?
It keeps slipping, so I just stopped doing it.
It's like turn the water off.
Yeah.
This shit is not funny.
No, it's funny because one of the first shows that I produced last year, he actually did his first stand-up in probably Dunedin or Trinity or somewhere around there, and I commend him, but he was nowhere near as entertaining as he was on the show. It's day and night.
Oh yeah,
and it was a bomb. I mean, it was bad. It was really bad.
Sometimes I've laughed. One of the hardest times watching someone else bomb. It's so funny.
It's so funny. It's funny you say that because we've been to a bunch of these shows because we usually get a bunch of our listeners to go out and watch you guys. Since you come in, we figure we'll go support you.
Yeah,
but we've actually seen a couple people straight up bomb from beginning to end. And I felt so goddamn bad for him. You know what I mean? Because I could just picture myself up there almost and having that happen. I just felt so bad for him. It's like, at least one joke. If one joke hit, I wouldn't feel so bad.
Well, the best thing you could do is laugh. You could prevent you feeling
just
bad.
Laugh. Then everyone thinks I'm a fucking idiot.
You could have saved him by laughing.
Yeah, this is true. It was a female.
Saved her by laughing.
Okay. I mean,
bought her a drink afterwards. Yeah,
that is true. Right, that would have been funny when I roofied her.
That's her.
Yeah. Or you're not gonna bomb tonight. I promise.
You bomb. It's only gonna get worse from here, honey.
It didn't even cost me $10.
Is that what they are now? Oh,
How the fuck do I know? I'm always the one drinking them.
You sounded pretty confident when you said that.
Exactly. So one of your things was, hey, one of the quotes on there, hey, who threw a ham at me? Was that your own quote?
I read that. That was in my high school yearbook. That was someone else's quote.
Oh, really? That was in your high school yearbook?
Someone else's quote, yeah.
Who threw that ham at me?
Who threw that ham at me?
Did you ever think about doing comedy when you were in high school? Or did it really not occur to you until you were older?
I've always been a fan of comedy. I wish it would occur to me. I've been in like school productions and stuff where you kind of like you have the tension towards you,
right?
And I've always tried to be the funny guy, but I didn't think of doing stand up. I don't know.
You tried, or you couldn't help it.
What?
To be funny? I mean, to be the funny guy. You didn't necessarily like. You just couldn't help yourself, right?
Yeah, there's no bigger for a comic. There's no bigger joy than making someone else laugh.
Period.
And you just got that. So
it's
just
fucking awesome, isn't it?
Yeah, it's great.
It really is. I mean, either making them cry or making them laugh. Either way is awesome.
Yeah,
but
or you can do both if you're.
So like, when I was a kid, I wore out Live at the Sunset Strip. Mm-hmm. Like I had the cassette tape of that. And literally had to buy a second one because it wouldn't play any longer.
I watched it so much.
Was there anyone that you kind of watched over and over and over, in your teens or early 20s?
For me, it's George Carlin. I find most people have you're either a Pryor fan or a Carlin fan.
Interesting.
I think those are the two. Your favorite colors either red or blue,
right.
black or white, Carlin or Pryor. And for me, it was Carlin. Even to this day, I could listen to Carlin.
See, and I love
repeat.
Carlin. I love that dry, like that matter-of-fact humor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But my hero has always been Robin Williams.
Yeah.
Only because it seems like he's going nowhere, and it always comes right back to where
Yeah.
he started. He knows exactly what the fuck he's doing, even though you don't think he does.
Yeah.
I just love that. He's not just nuts. He's not just screaming. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? He's very intelligent, and
yeah.
everything has a place.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he can
High
take
energy.
over a stage like fucking that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Anywhere he goes. But George Carlin, awesome. Mitch Hedberg,
Yeah.
one of the best, like, just comics ever.
Yeah. The one-liners.
I wish I respected him more while he was alive.
Oh, yeah.
Because I just didn't see it. It wasn't around.
Yeah.
And after he died, I saw all that stuff. I was like, wow, that's amazing. That Stephen Wright is a he's one of those one-liner dry guys.
Yeah.
That's just he nails it.
Right, he's like the mix between George Carlin and Mitch Hedberg.
Yeah, that's
he's
good.
That blend right there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
It's stupid as hell if you just don't understand it.
It's great.
And Gilbert Gottfried, he's at Side Splitters This Weekend.
He is, yeah.
He has that old style comedy where his jokes can be dumb if you don't look for the joke.
Yeah,
But if you see the joke, you're like, you're a funny little dude.
Yeah. You're in his atmosphere. You're with him for long enough. You can't help it.
His Andrew
Up.
Dice Clay impression was one of the funniest things I've ever seen because he's wearing this giant ass coat from the 80s with shoulder pads. And it's he's doing those cigarette things.
He's one of the only comics that at first seemed annoying as hell.
Yeah.
But then kind of grew on you. You know what I mean? Because you realized there was some funny shit.
That was kind of how Stephen Wright was for me. I saw his 85 special on HBO, and his opening scenes. I don't know if you remember. He like wakes up in this like shack, and like puts on he does his hair, puts on a coat, and goes right back to bed. And then like he's doing all like, and you hear like this in the background, like the wind blowing,
right?
And like this really really annoying wind. He goes up to the radio and just turns it off. It was just the opening up to it is just so funny,
so subtly funny. Right?
He comes out to just roaring applause.
See, yeah, I like that. I like that subtle funny.
He's an atmosphere.
Right.
It's
like good music. He just sucks you right the fuck in, and you forget where you're at.
And then you get the joke 5 minutes later.
Yeah.
Like, son of a bitch.
You get the 5 minutes later.
Shut up. I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
He's almost he almost looks annoyed that you're laughing.
Or
like,
that
this is
there.
dumb for me.
Right.
And he's almost
Why
ashamed.
Do you like this?
Oh my God. Are we going to take a break?
We are taking
I think
a break.
Tim's done talking with us.
All right,
I'm
so
enjoying
we're
it. I'm enjoying it.
Take a break. We've got some songs to play. G2P coming up. Also, on the other side, we've got Open Mike's favorite game with 55 plus contestants or answers or what is it?
55 participants at this point.
Participants. There we go.
Piss your pants.
All right.
Very nice.
Bye, Piss Your Pants. We'll be back on the other side.
I see.
This is Cam Bertrand. You're listening to Open Mic Live.
Welcome back to Open Mic Live.
Shall we play a game?
It is now time. I don't need to play that every time. It's now time for Open Mic's favorite game, Stanley Feud.
Every time. So Stanley Feud is my game that I made up. Well,
Really?
I kind of copied it from Family Feud, but whatever. I make up my own
I
questions.
don't see the similarity.
I send the questions out to many, many, many of my friends on Facebook, and this week I actually broke the 50 mark, and we'll have 55 people that answer this week.
Congratulations.
That is awesome. So thank you all for doing that. The number one answer is worth 5. You get the top 5 answers out of all 55 people that answered, and all other answers are worth 1. The first question is, name a famous Spanish celebrity in America. Famous Spanish celebrity in America.
Sofia Vergara.
That's strong. I'm thinking, is Lopez still famous?
Well, yeah, you know who she is. I mean,
George Lopez.
you know who he is.
But is he still famous?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to go George Lopez. I was gonna think, man, I don't know, George
We
Lopez.
got Charo, Sofia Vergara, Geraldo Rivera, Donkey Fart says.
I forget that he's Spanish.
And Deo says George Lopez.
Jorge Lopez.
KC says George Lopez. Love Burns says J-Lo.
That's a good one.
Oh, forgot how the game worked. Mike says Lopez. What'd you say? Oh, that's right, Sofia Vergara.
Sofia Vergara.
I don't know how the fuck I forgot
George
that.
Lopez.
She's definitely one of the highest paid, actually, female actresses, just flat out.
Really?
Not even Spanish. Yeah, she's top.
super talented.
She was like top 5 of the year.
She's got talent on the front, on the back.
Who's the drug runner dude?
El Chapo.
Oh, Chapo.
What a coincidence that his name is El Chapo.
Or is it Pablo Escobar? No, El Chapo.
Chapo's in his name.
Is he in America still?
Didn't he get jailed? Did they finally catch him? He got his son tweeted him and they found him.
Donkey Fart says Pablo Escobar. That's another drug runner, I guess, right?
Right. None of these are in America, though.
No, right, exactly.
Technicality.
Yeah, right.
Have you seen Family Feud?
Yeah.
Naming Mexicans.
And once that wall goes up, they'll never get into a fucking America. So we got Pitbull on the board, which is no longer the spokesperson for Florida.
Good.
Right?
Now.
Hooray.
Who made that decision anyway?
To make him spokesperson?
Yeah.
Trump.
He definitely did not do that.
Oh, goddamn. Mount Pepsi says that's my answer. All right. 15 people said J-Lo.
Damn, that's okay.
8 said Selma Hayek.
Really?
8 said George Lopez. 5 said Selena Gomez. And 5 said Antonio Banderas.
Am I the only one who said Sofia Vergara?
There's somebody
on
else
the board.
did, but you
No,
didn't
but
get any
it didn't make
points.
the top 5.
Oh, I see. So did I lose?
Oh, there's several other answers than the ones you hear. But when I add them up, you only get the ones that the most answered. Were answered the most.
There's
Follow what
time.
I'm
You get
saying?
no points, but there's more time.
You get. Oh, there's plenty of time. You ready? Next one.
Okay.
Name something people bring to a party.
What's that shitty pizza?
Scacciata?
Yes.
Beer.
Yeah. What kind of party? Maybe it's a birthday party?
Doesn't matter.
Can
Any
we bring
party.
presents?
Hey,
Let's say beer.
Yeah, beer's solid.
Going with beer.
Beer, liquor, beer, alcohol, blunts.
I was gonna say chips, but I forgot I'm older than 13.
And now you got to make sure they're gluten free and.
Exactly.
Well, Burns said chips. Good job, Will Burns.
To be fair, I do make the awesome chicken dip.
Oh my god.
But nobody is going to pick my chicken dip, so I say beer too.
Mike says beer. Tim says beer.
In the 80s.
KC says beer. Am I saying that right?
Beer.
Scott says blunt.
Puff, puff, pass.
Nitas with the bear. Bear.
Quaaludes.
Quaaludes.
Good job, Donkey Fart. Welcome to 1990.
Donkey Fart says Quaaludes. Liquor.
I did hear that somebody has supposedly Quaaludes
Valtrex.
that they can get. I don't buy it.
Really? Are they throwing any parties anytime soon?
I'm hoping so. They say they have their little smasher thing too.
Someone said condoms.
That's not a fucking party.
Oh, that's a goddamn party.
Not with condoms.
Yeah, that's true.
Bareback or nothing.
All right. 18 people said beer or booze.
That's right.
15 said drugs.
That's right.
And then it really drops from there. 5 said food. 3 said people.
Who the fuck brings
And
these
2
to a
said
party?
ice. And I think they mean actual like ice.
Ice
that you
is
put
like
beer in.
the default. Hey, do you need me to bring anything? Yeah, ice.
Yeah.
You're always safe with ice. Always.
Or cups.
Or cups. Yeah, true.
Nobody ever thinks about the cups.
Nobody does ever think. I always think of ice. I never think of cups.
I never think of ice.
Oh, we should go to a party together.
Because
This bitch is stacked.
cups aren't at a store. You can't usually get solo cups at the convenience store, can you?
Who can afford solo
for
cups, bro?
$2. What kind of Dixie cups?
Right. Styrofoam
You
cups.
just take
Fuck
paper
off.
plates and fold it like the cones.
Right.
Actually, tape.
All right. Number 3. What is the most hours you have slept at one time? Not you. The people.
Oh, the people. Okay,
We
cool.
got a 15 on the board.
I like 15. That's a good answer.
Amdeo says 28.
I have not consecutively slept 28 hours, but I had the flu once, and I was down for 28 hours.
We got 9, 18, 16.
I think 12. 12 and 14.
I like 12. 12
Tim,
is a good number.
Tim with 12. Mike
40.
with 12.
40, is that work? 20 plus hours.
Tiff Money,
40
24.
hours. 40 hours.
Matt, 40. I can't believe 40. Dude.
I can see
That's
that.
like, what's
20.
the difference between sleeping in a coma? Like,
Right.
Right.
40.
Anesthesiologist being
24.
there, I guess counts.
20.
24 hours.
That's insane, right? I've watched Amdeo sleep for that 28 that she was referring to.
Go to bed,
I was in there like putting a mirror under her and make sure she was still breathing and shit. That's real. I'm like, you gotta be. I couldn't do it. There's no fucking way I could sleep that long.
You go to sleep, you ask what time it is, and your mom says it's next Tuesday.
Right, exactly.
It's tomorrow.
We got some 16s, some 18s.
Because your body goes into a reverse effect. You start losing. It starts taking more energy to sleep.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Crazy.
Mom's Pepsi says it took me a week to give birth. I was tired. That's a long time.
That'll teach you.
Jesus Christ. All right. 10 people said 14.
Shit.
10 also said 12.
Sweet.
6 said 15. 5 said 10. And 1 person said 24.
Those are good. I mean, those are solid answers.
But, man, some of the other answers I got 36. And on here we see 40. I'm like, there's no goddamn way. There's, like you said, that's a close one.
Yeah. It's a good weekend.
Right.
I like 6 hours.
You
6
wake up
hours
and
is
your
my
family
number.
doesn't live in the same place.
Sleep 6 hours?
6 hours, and it's stupid.
That's about what I get.
I can't sleep in.
Trump sleeps 4.
There are some really successful people that do that.
4 hours. Apparently, that's all you need. That's a full sleep.
Is that what he said?
John Gruden.
Is that something you've heard? I mean, is that
4 hours? Well, they say 8 hours is what you need. It's 2
Right.
sleep cycles.
John Gruden was a 4-hour sleep guy, and look at him. If you watch him on Monday Night Football, that guy knows his football. He stays up.
All right, next question. Name something you only use once.
Condom? I don't know.
That's a good answer.
I don't use it anymore. Pregnancy test?
Only use once.
I'm
gonna go with condom.
I'm going paper plate. You can use the backside, but then it fucks the counter up. It's kind of defeats the purpose.
You could also, flip the condom inside out as well.
Tissue.
That kind of defeats the purpose
Well,
also.
Wash it off.
A cigarette.
Tissue, toilet paper.
Just run it out of the faucet. Round 2, bitch.
A cigarette.
Cigarette's a good answer.
Nitas, floss.
If I sleep 5 hours,
Floss is a
I
great
have
answer.
a good night. Floss?
You use floss twice? That's like folding your toilet paper back over and using it again.
I use a floss pick.
My college diploma.
What? Yeah.
Did you throw it away? A high school diploma.
Yeah.
At least you have one.
It says diploma, it counts.
Yes, there's a prize.
The question?
Name something people only use once.
Name something you only use once. That period egg you discard, right?
Tiff says floss. Floss is a great answer, actually.
Feminine hygiene napkin.
And actually, no, we did not
What did we do?
have this question before. Actually, we did about a year and a half ago. But I have all new people answering it. So that's what's funny is every now and then I'll go back far enough to where the new people that answered it haven't answering it, not playing it. And the top 5 changes. Like every single fucking time it's different number 1 answers. It's weird.
Yeah.
Well, I don't recall like the number one. Like this might be the first time the number 1 answer was 15. I don't remember saying that yet on a Stanley Feud.
No, because I'm up to 55
That's
people,
what I'm
so
saying.
it's right.
So things have changed.
So here we go. 13 people said tampons.
Son of a bitch.
13 people said condoms. 8 people said toilet paper. 5 said a bra. Yeah, I have chicks answering too. And 4 said the lights. Who the fuck leaves the lights on?
Lights?
Yeah.
Just once?
Lights you only use once.
I put the wrong answers in there.
I don't understand.
Wait, I put the wrong answer in there. That was the wrong. That was the wrong number 5 answer. So you guys got screwed. You only got the top 4 this time.
That's fine.
I apologize, man. Hey, I make mistakes too. God damn.
Right.
Bra. You use a bra once and then you go wash it and then you use it again.
Right.
Maybe it's one setting. I mean, maybe it's a technicality. Why do I have to fucking explain that to women? Jesus Christ.
All right. So I screwed up. Listen, you got the top 3.
Worse too, yeah.
All right. Here's a points update for everyone that got screwed. Because we're going on the last question. Endale, KC, Mike, LM, all have 11. Nitas, Matt, Tim, and Gobble all have 10.
Wow.
Love Burns with 7. Scott with 6. Donkey with 1. Tip with 2. This last one, the number 1 answer is worth 10. All others are worth 5. And I promise you the answers are the ones that belong here in this one. Name something you might leave on during sex.
Condom.
That was going to be my first, but I went with light. Since it was the last question for the first one.
Go repeat. Back to back.
Socks.
Underwear.
LM lights. Everyone's going lights. It says socks.
Porn in the background. Music. There's a lot of people that still use condoms.
And Dale says socks.
I actually learned something about this game.
You can only use it once. So
Matt
you gotta
says
leave it on.
TV.
But they still use them.
Socks. Casey says socks. Nita
Nothing
says socks.
Nothing worse than cold feet during sex.
It's not usually a big problem here in Tampa, but
Mom's Pepsi says condoms.
they kind of say lights, but the
Tiff Money says music.
I'm gonna say that was gonna say lights, but that's way too easy. But it says something totally different.
Scott says porn in the background. It's an instructional video. It's like color by numbers.
First, you insert the penis.
Right, exactly.
Wasn't that NWA album? First, you grab the dick. Don't grab too tight of the world's biggest dick. NWA. What was that called? Yes. What is that for? I don't know.
All right, here we go. What the hell did I just do? Hold on. God, I gotta learn how to. I need to get better at this.
It's you this
I've
time.
been doing this shit for a fucking year. All right. 16 people said socks. 6 said condoms. 6 said TV or Sports Center. 5 said, well, bra. And 4 said lights. So you know.
Only 4 said lights?
Yeah.
I thought it'd be number 1.
No.
Well, actually, it was number 4 because we saw that from the last answer.
Right. That's why it was in the bottom of the last one because I fucked up. It happens, right?
It happens.
However, here is something that does also happen. We have a tie.
Oh.
Yes, we do.
All
It's a
right.
fact. We have a 3-way tie. So the person closest to the answer or the first person to get the right answer wins the tie, period. All right. The tie is between Endeo, Casey, and Nitas.
Okay.
Endeo, Casey, and Nitas. How old was Jennifer Lopez when she debuted as a fly girl on In Living Color?
You can do what you wanna do. And never go. I think I'm gonna. I know I'm not playing, but I think I'm gonna say early 20s. Like 20. I'm gonna go with 23.
Mom's Pepsi says 15.
Get out there.
It says 13.
Good age.
Get out there and be fly.
So Nitas, which is one of the finalists, says 19. Which means that Endeo and KC are Googling right now. So Endeo and KC is all we're waiting on.
17. She's only 17.
Endeo says 17. KC says 16.
Wow.
The answer, my friends, is 22 years old. She was born July 24th, 1969 and became a fly girl in 1991.
Not a girl.
Sorry.
Nitas. New listener, first time winner. Winner, chicken effing dinner.
Gagoosh times
21.
21.
You win, Nitas.
Congratulations.
Good job, Nitas.
You did it.
And you do win something. So you can direct message me your address and I will send you what you win.
You're going to tell?
There's surprise gifts.
Oh.
Like when they show up, you'll know what you won.
That's interesting.
A used condom.
In a sock.
With the lights on.
Yeah, leave that shit on, bitch. Oh my God. So anyway, some of these some of these questions are just stupid, right? Honestly, be honest. It's just stupid.
I mean, I would think so, but to be honest, I have seen some really off-the-wall shit on Family Feud versus what we're seeing here. So along the lines of our thinking, I think this is pretty solid.
So what is the longest you've ever slept personally?
I'm pretty sure. See, I'm thinking in spurts, but I mean, I've done a 13 or 14 hour stint.
13 or 14?
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
About that, right?
Yeah.
Me too. So these people are saying 36 hours and shit, right? I mean, they've been up for 3 days. That's got to be the only way.
Right.
3 days up, 3 days down.
That's a lot of NyQuil.
Or you've had to get up to pee or whatever the reason for you that amount of sleep, throwing up or something. You were up.
Right. I mean, like I said, I've seen my wife sleep for 28 hours, literally. Like
I've heard that. Yeah, after like childbirth or something like that, or after like a marathon.
Right. Or like after
or an hour
born.
with you.
Right.
An hour with me.
Yeah.
1 hour with me is 36 hours of sleep.
I sleep until Sunday when you leave.
Exchange rate there.
Do you are you in a relationship right now?
I am not. No.
Have you ever been in a relationship?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been in a couple.
What's the longest relationship you've been in?
Year and a half.
Oh, really?
27, year and a half.
That's not bad, right?
I think a year. Yeah. So, never more than a year and a half. Never broke 2.
Really? So,
really?
Do you leave the light? Have you ever left the lights on during sex?
Yeah.
Have you really?
I had these lights with a dimmer.
I have a dimmer.
did that. Someone stole it. Someone stole my light. Oh, yeah.
You used to get the app on your phone.
Did they steal it after it was turned off or after it was turned on?
I was moving. I left it out in the hallway, and they took it.
You walked by, snag it.
Well, I had 2 lamps out there. This is a true story. 2 lamps out there. They just took one. They took the good one with the dimmer.
It says Stan is trying to pick up another male guest. I'm not trying to pick you up, bro. Seriously.
Oh, well.
So what do you leave on
strong.
during sex? Like if you leave something on.
Oh, I mean, I'm cool with the lights.
Are you really?
I like to see what I'm doing.
I mean, how about have you ever left the socks on?
I don't like socks, so typically I'm not leaving my socks on.
How about shirt? No one ever said shirt.
Shirt's coming off.
It is?
Yeah.
Like even if it's a quickie
That's
behind a
usually the
tree
first
somewhere.
Sometimes I'll leave all my clothes and just zipper and right
pull
through
it out of the
insert.
insert.
Like if I'm going to
exactly.
work or something or a stop sign.
Your headphones on.
You leave a little train tracks right on the front of her. Are you what?
What?
You're nuts. I had people saying makeup.
All right. I mean,
Condom was a pretty good answer. I didn't think of that one when I thought about the question. That was actually not a terrible.
It's still fresh from the other one.
Right. Yeah, that might
As
be.
far as
and maybe
condoms
because
go.
that was my first thought too. I was like, condom, but who the fuck uses condoms anymore?
This is true. I mean, there's cures for everything. Fucking, condom, right?
Magic Johnson.
Exactly. But now that Trump's in there, you might want to use a condom because abortion's going away.
I saw something the other day that, like, where the married couple, it must have been a sitcom, but this has to be a real thing where the couple was out of condoms and they're like, "Well, go ask your roommate." I'm not going to go ask him. Oh, I'm not going to ask her. That's a thing. I mean, I'm assuming, even though it's not a reality show, but people still use condoms.
Mom Subsy says, I'm not sure if y'all remember,
couples.
but the dude told you had a relationship with his soap. It's hard to get a hold of, though.
My first girlfriend.
It wasn't.
What
was her name?
All
Coast?
of our first girlfriend, bro.
Dove.
My mom was going, why are we going through so much fucking soap? I don't understand.
And you're still not clean, dirty bitch.
I mean, what's... Like, I don't know. That whole leaving things on. I just want everything off of me.
Pretty
When I'm
much.
having-
It's like,
right?
I'm getting laid, and then I'm out.
Where's the strangest place you've ever had sex?
Strangest?
Like, have you ever had sex in, like, a public restroom or, like, in
Done on a playground before.
In the playground?
Yeah.
With the teacher?
No.
That was
That's
the
the
teacher
recess
show.
there. That's a fun recess class.
How old were you when that happened?
It was a couple years ago.
on the playground a couple years ago.
26.
I want to see my 6-year-old
It was a
teacher
night.
in
It
school.
was a night.
She bit on a lollipop, so
Yeah.
I've done it in the
Down the
ocean.
slide.
Right.
In the ocean at the beach. That's the only, I would say, oddball.
Dude, never once.
Oh, that's a
Hey,
terrible
Mom.
fucking idea.
Mom, how's everything? Is she really watching?
I hope not.
Oh, I was gonna have her answer.
She said kind of.
She's the one typing in.
She's like, well, I had him on the beach, but
Yeah, that's the inside the ocean is bad. They don't.
It's terrible, right?
It sounds great in theory, but no, it's like sandpaper.
I feel like the waves would help, with the motion of the ocean
But
and where
the
that's coming from.
salinity in the water is like sandpaper.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, water is the opposite of lube. In case you're wondering,
Yes.
yeah.
seriously.
And salt water is.
Oh yeah, it'll
Be
heal.
sterile though. You wouldn't need a condom. It'd kill everything in there.
That's a good point.
But you would find out if she had any wounds. Because
And-
she would be screaming.
And you're gonna have wounds afterwards too.
You're running out of there.
Why does that chafe?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Vagina is not supposed to chafe.
They're not?
I mean, if they have speed bumps all over them, then they're gonna chafe a little bit.
Why use a condom?
Right. when
Not a bad
when in
point.
doubt,
Comes back full circle.
just pull out. What?
What? That's why I always just keep a mouthful of spit so I can save money on lube.
Is that what an orgasm tastes like? Wait, what?
That's how an orgasm tastes like. That's the funniest goddamn thing you said in a long time. I'm impressed. Oh my God, we need to take a break. I can't take any more of this shit.
On that note.
Right.
All right, so we're going to take a break. When we come back, we got FLoridiots, more of Tim, and what else we got? That's
FLoridiots and more Tim.
That's all you can handle.
I'm not done with Tim yet.
Yep. Going in dry on the other side. We'll be back.
You're a pig.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Jared Waters, and you're rocking with the best live internet show, Open Mic Live. Best in the Bay.
All right. Well, now welcome back to Open Mic Live. I am Stan Downdale. Sitting next to me is Mike Tyree, and across from me is Tim Chirikalov.
What's up?
Well, I stuttered in my head when I said it, but it came out right, didn't it?
Yeah, if you want to get fancy, Tim Chirikalov. You can roll the R.
Really?
Whoa.
Is that the proper way to say it?
Chirikalov. Yeah, or Chirikalov.
Are those just bad ways of saying it, or are those all appropriate
Those are different.
ways?
You can roll the R. I mean, I've
How do you say it? Like when you...
when I say Tim Chirikalov.
I could say
Chirikalov?
Chirikalov.
Chirikalov.
So that's the right way to say it.
Well, yeah, but my mom will try to get fancy when she's trying to show off a little bit. She'll roll the R. Chirikalov.
I got you.
But
Chirikalov.
by all means,
Chirikalov. My shitty.
sounds exotic. Yeah, right.
It's not.
So I was wrong in the
Sounds like
beginning.
good food.
I wish you
Chirikalov.
Tell me that.
It's
Chirikalov.
close enough. If you hit the letters, if it sounds right enough,
Chirikalov. I like that. Well, no, because if I ever have someone else from Ukraine in, I'll know how to pronounce those eyes.
Yeah,
Do you know the most famous Ukrainian in the U.S.?
Mila Kunis, I think.
Oh, is she Ukrainian?
Second most.
She's the second.
The first famous Ukrainian was in the 80s, and that was Yakov Smirnoff.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Wow, Perfect Strangers.
No, that was Balky. Dummy.
Oh, Balky dummy. Same shit.
Yakov Smirnoff. He was a New Yorker. Like he was like the Ukrainian stereotype because we're Americans and we don't know any different.
Right.
But he was a cabbie, and he did the. Did he do a show? Do you remember him?
I remember the name for some reason.
I don't know if he did a show or if he was like one of those buffers between shows. Like, I'm Yakov Smirnoff, and this is what you need to do, and then he was gone.
He worked at the Comedy Store.
He was a stand-up comedian.
Yeah.
He did, yeah.
Really?
Yep.
So, I mean, like I said, I recognize the name, but
I'm gonna find some stuff when we end the show. I'm gonna pull.
He's got a vodka after.
Did they really? No. That's what I do after I drink a lot of vodka. It's Yakov Smirnoff all over the place.
Jesus.
That was racist.
It's for the time.
Oh, he's shit. I'm stupid.
Don't be so hard on yourself.
I love a
No, let him go.
Fuck, I make signals. I don't know what to do.
So anyway,
What happened?
It is Florida time. Tiff Monty's favorite segment. I think she just likes the song, actually.
As you do that, I'm going to make sure that I never hear that part again.
Okay. So FLoridiots is Mike picks out a few stories and then I read them to you about dumbasses in Florida, basically.
Great.
And
Sometimes
so
I
you can
read
jump
them.
in and say whatever you want about it. If you don't feel anything about it, just sit there and shut up.
Do that too.
Oh, you'll have something to say.
So anyway, the first one comes from Volusia County. This story is about a squirrel that went nuts.
Huh.
At the Sterling Court Apartments Senior Citizens Living Facility, a squirrel went on a rampage, leaving 3 people injured and bleeding. A female called 911 saying, "We had a squirrel that entered our building, and it's in our..." She ran into her office to make the call. So she frantically tells the dispatcher, "We need some care for people here. It's still in there, and people are bleeding." So it's like the Cujo of squirrels, basically, right?
The squirrel broke in, and they're. What do they do? I wonder what they're doing while they're waiting for help.
Well, it's an old folks' home.
They're tending to more squirrel bites.
So
the squirrel just attacked everybody, and then the rest of them are playing shuffleboard.
They're still trying to dob their bingo thing.
Yeah.
I got it!
Right. Take the casualties with bingo.
Exactly.
That's part of the game.
I mean, they're going to die in there anyway.
Yeah.
So she's asking for an ambulance when in the background, the 911 operator hears people yelling, "The squirrel is in here." And I feel lightheaded. I don't feel so good. This is what they hear in the background, like a horror movie or some shit. You know what I mean? So she's going, "We need help for the people. It's not about the squirrel," says the caller. "Just in case you thought I was just calling you to get a squirrel out of here, I'm not. There's a bunch of old fucks in here about to bleed to death because, well, old people bleed easy, right?"
Right. They're thin-blooded, so yeah a little. They get a paper cut and they're anemic.
They get an itch and they're freaking...
Right.
Right, they're done. So anyway, this dispatcher asks where the squirrel is at, to which the caller responds, "They told me they threw it out of the building, out of the window, basically."
Mm-hmm.
And so according to the Orlando Sentinel, all the people there, all the injured people, they're doing just fine. They're okay. So all these old fucks...
No casualties from the squirrel, huh?
No casualties from the squirrel, but I like the fact that someone finally decided they were bigger than the squirrel and threw it out the window.
I got you, dog.
We can take this.
Right, it's a goddamn squirrel. You know what I mean? It's like when I watch my dog run from a cat, it just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
It's a squirrel. I mean, if your squirrel was attacking you, what would you do?
I find squirrels in Florida do not care whatsoever. Like, you can come up to a squirrel and, like in Georgia, where I'm from, squirrels, you can't get near a squirrel.
They scamper.
You're like, what? You know, you're bigger than me.
Yeah, when you see them, it's because they've interacted with humans.
Yeah,
so
I
they'll come up
guess.
to you. I don't understand where the attack comes from.
Well, I guess old people are known for like feeding animals like ducks and bread, and maybe that squirrel felt left out.
I've never heard of an attack at Lowry Park
From ducks?
from squirrels.
Well,
Just saying.
it just had enough. You know, Meredith and Agnes hadn't been
Fuck this
feeding
old
me.
lady.
This is-
Maybe he was just trying to play.
Give me,
They didn't know,
give
right?
me some of that pudding or else.
I mean, you ever seen squirrels play outside around the tree? They chase each other and then they attack each other and then they chase each other some more.
Yeah.
So you're just trying to play.
And I just gotta assume, like, if this is a squirrel that had the gall or whatever, the tenacity to go into either inside the place or whether it's in the courtyard, somebody has fed that squirrel.
My mom's actually had a squirrel outside that she fed by hand before outside of her house. She's actually fed by hand. I mean, she never even fed me when I was a kid, but she's feeding this fucking squirrel by hand. I'm like, this is ridiculous.
They're adorable.
They are?
We feed some at, what is that, Rivercrest Park? No, River Hills.
I'm not a fan. I
Me
think they're
neither.
just rats with pretty tails.
Exactly.
But they beg so cutely. They're like, give me a chip.
Right. They're rats that are accepted, you know, they're okay if they're outside.
Right. You ever seen a squirrel without a tail? Look weird.
Yeah.
Really?
I've seen them with the
Gross.
thin tails. I think I've seen them with, I think those are chipmunks.
Oh, well.
No, they're adorable.
They're cute too.
You're an idiot.
Chip and Dale are...
Yeah, what do you have to do to piss off a squirrel? You have to be an evil, just a bad person.
Shake it. Right,
Right, exactly.
Get attacked by a squirrel.
See, these old people are dicks. That's what I'm saying.
So anyway, the next one comes from Fort Myers. This one is about a guy that was locked out and locked up in the same night. A man called 911 because he was locked out of his Crestwood Suites hotel room and his 4-year-old daughter was inside choking on candy. When the dispatcher asked the man if his daughter was breathing, he responded he did not know since he locked himself out. So he couldn't tell if she was breathing, but he knew she was choking. on candy.
I see.
Right? I mean, so he told his dispatcher he locked himself out of the room and there wasn't anyone at the hotel available to help him back into the room. The fire department, paramedics, and deputies responded, lights going, sirens on, to find the man was nowhere to be waiting around for them there. So they go up to the room number that the guy gave him. Well, the man claiming to be the caller came around the corner, and when he saw the crew, said, oh, this wasn't necessary. He's like, what the hell is all this shit about? You know what I mean? Now, he just called and said his daughter's in there choking, and he can't get in the room.
Right.
You know what I mean? So they think there's a kid in danger.
Did he have clothes on at least?
Yeah, he had clothes on.
Okay,
So he
good.
comes
Not
up.
his shirt. A silver lining.
Right. This was not necessary. So when the deputies asked him about the child, he said there was no child in the room.
He just wanted some attention.
Admitting he lied about his daughter because he locked himself out and simply wanted to get back in.
Oh.
So he was arrested for misuse of 911.
Makes sense.
Does it? Have you ever locked yourself out of somewhere? House, room?
A hotel?
I've locked myself out of the hotel room.
Yeah, I've gone down to the lobby and got the goddamn key.
I've done that.
At 3 a.m, it's not that easy.
That's a motel, not
You got to
a
really hit
hotel.
that goddamn bell.
Bling, bling, bling. Hey.
Right. You got to hit that shit loud.
Yeah.
Or start kicking shit.
They're having sex in the back with the lights on.
With the lights on. I know you're having sex in there. I mean, how about your car? Have you ever locked yourself out of your car?
I did, and it sucked ass. It was at Rick's on the River, and instead of paying the $25 or $50, I actually ran here and grabbed the spare key and went back.
That's not a terrible idea, actually. I mean, at least you went and got a spare key and
I
came
was
back.
exercising then, so it was cool.
Are you familiar with the Gasparilla Parade down here?
I am, yeah.
Okay, so we went down and I had to park a few blocks from my buddy's house.
Uh-huh.
Well, I forgot a bunch of shit in my truck.
Uh-huh.
You know, it was a little, whatever, the little Ford truck with the sliding windows in it.
Yeah.
So
Trucks.
I'm thinking that I can somehow get that
Oh,
shit
you
apart.
can.
And next thing you know, I'm like a fat guy on a copier and my whole fucking arm went straight through the back of the window. I'm like, well, fuck it, I'm in now. You know what I mean? But have you ever done that either?
I have not. In fact, one time when we left, it was a Thanksgiving night. We left the James Joyce, and we were all pretty, toasted. And my mom locked her keys in the car. Long story short, she didn't, but we broke into her car, and I said, can I kick out a window? She says, yes, but don't kick out that window. So I'm always very attuned to what window not to kick out because of what it's going to cost to repair it.
Right.
The smallest window costs the most money. So I'm definitely aware of that.
Interesting, yeah.
Yeah, be careful.
I've locked my keys in my car on a snow day. Yeah.
That's freaking.
I don't know. Is that the same as a hurricane day here?
No.
Right, yeah, like how all the water, but it's white. So it's
like colder.
But
no one knows what snow is down here.
Oh, no, I know what snow is. I was raised in upstate New York.
Yeah.
I know all about shoveling yourself out, go in, get ready, and come back out, and they've done plowed you back in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know all about that. And locking
Right
yourself
there.
out then sucks, man.
Yeah.
I know nothing about that, but I know cold is cold, and I can't imagine trying to break in with boots on. It'd be like that kid in the Christmas Story that falls over because he's got 17 pairs of clothes on.
You know, I actually heard, the spark plugs?
Uh-huh.
It's a fun fact if anyone ever gets locked out of their car.
Cool.
If you take a spark plug and you break like the tip, bikers will do this. They'll break the end of the spark plug, and if you just have just a little piece and you throw it at a window, it's so dense it'll break that window.
Really?
It's what I don't know. I didn't read. This is just what I heard. So this is
You got a spark plug?
all
Yeah, in my
basic.
car. So we're going to take it out. We're going to throw it at the window.
Right. So there's where I guess the spark actually happens at the very tip.
Right.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. If you break it up, this is what I hear again.
Right, I got you.
And bikers will drive by if they get cut off or something and throw it out a window, it'll shatter.
So now we're talking about not the tip with the little.
The
little.
It's like
elbow
porcelain,
thing.
I think, or it's something.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
Yeah.
The
Just have a
solid
little
part of it.
piece of that and throw it out a window. It'll
I like that.
get your keys out.
It's pretty fucking interesting.
I usually pull out my 9, but whatever.
Yeah, whatever you got laying around.
Holy shit. Nita says, I dropped a set of keys in the Hudson River once.
Holy shit.
Dude, that
Yikes.
would fucking suck, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Have you ever lost your keys in the sand?
Did you get them out? I've lost mine. I have lost mine on a run. Never found them again.
Have you ever lost your keys in your pocket?
I've lost my keys in my pocket.
Have you ever done that? You look
That's how you
all
discover
over.
holes in your pockets, by losing.
Yep.
Done that.
That's how I lose.
I've lost pockets.
I've lost pants.
Yeah.
pockets. The fuck? I know there was a pocket here a minute ago. What the fuck happened?
I'm not wearing these shorts.
All right, the last one comes from Haines City. So Officer Tim Glover, whose job it is to review red light camera footage, received a video of a car that looked familiar. So he walks out into the parking lot and confirmed it was his car that he sees in this red light footage that he's going over.
That's awkward.
So, right, well, is it awkward if you're by yourself and realize it?
As it's happening?
Yeah. Like you walk outside and see your car on the, because he's watching the video.
Delete?
Right.
Real
Exactly.
quick.
So he lives in a small city, so he's like, it's not always fun being the guy who writes the tickets for running a red light. You know what I mean? Because everyone knows who you are.
Uh-huh.
He said he's had to write notices to friends, coworkers, firemen, highway. So he's just a dick, basically, is what he's trying to get across.
Asshole, yeah.
So now he's a dick to himself?
So he decided to turn himself into his boss. When he could have easily deleted it, right?
Giving himself a warning.
He's the review guy. No, there is no warning. You did it or you didn't. When you're reviewing it, boom, 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 boom.
So he was on his way to lunch and happened to make a left turn and ran the light, which is what he got the picture of.
Rolled through, apparently.
Right, exactly. What's wrong with that?
If it's under 17 miles an hour, it doesn't count, right?
No, look both ways.
I think if you're turning, it should all be a yield.
Listen, it's Florida. It's all a yield.
Stopping's
anyway.
optional, right?
Stop signs are just signs.
Blinkers, too.
So
I hate blinkers.
he's like, I've always been taught that if you've done something wrong, to take responsibility for what you've done and accept your punishment.
One of those people.
He wants you to know, though, that most cops are honest and do the right thing. And they're willing to pay the price to make a mistake, even on a lunch break.
Most.
So I'm okay with that. This guy.
This is your stance? I mean, I turned myself in for a freaking $80 red light ticket, and that's...
But see, we're missing the point. He didn't just turn himself in. He turned himself in and then told the news about it. He's like, I'm that guy. Look at me.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah, it wasn't just I'm a good doer. It was I'm a good doer, and you're gonna know about it.
So that goes back to the old. I think it was a Seinfeld thing where if you do something good for somebody, is it really a selfless act type of thing?
Right. I mean,
where's
the line?
Did you do this for the attention?
Right.
Right.
Yes, he did.
It's hey, I did my job.
Right. Or maybe it's so his dad would talk to him again.
Right. He needs more friends on
that
Facebook.
have changed. Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
But I mean, he paid the fine and was reprimanded.
I hope his dad didn't talk to him.
nothing
That's fine. It was $150. We all know how much it is to run a red light or.
So I wonder if he was going to face jail time for this, would he have made the same decision?
Hell no.
Or would he have deleted that son of a bitch? You know what I mean? Seriously, how dedicated do you really think this guy is?
I was really hoping the story would end with him being fired.
I was too. I really was. But it was more about how, give me a goddamn break.
Did he pay the fine?
Yeah, he paid the fine.
Okay.
Because
Because if he waited past 30 days, then it's no longer a traffic violation or a parking violation. It's now a traffic violation. Then he could actually get in trouble, but it's not going to happen.
But the only reason I followed through with this is because, seriously, my question is that. It's like you're coming across as this fucking great guy.
Right.
And
he's not coming across as a great guy. He works at the worst job ever.
Attempting to. And knowing that the end result was a couple bucks and your boss yelling at you, but commending you for being honest.
Right. I broke the law and I did my job.
Exactly.
Give me some coverage.
I don't give a fuck whether it was a
Tweet
fine,
that out.
fine or jail time. I'm deleting that son of a bitch, right?
I am not a fan of the
It's a goddamn red light ticket.
I don't like them.
I mean, you're not trying to cover up a murder.
Maybe he was.
So turning himself in was to kind of cover up for the.
Yeah.
They did do the Casey Anthony sweep in the trunk. Yeah.
Now they won't look in the trunk because
Right.
I'm being honest.
Right. Oh, duct tape and a sledgehammer. Why is this here?
Right, exactly.
I'm a do-it-yourself guy.
It's like when they come in and ask you where the drugs are. You tell them where the small stash is.
Yeah.
Never tell them where the rest of the
I
shit
always
is.
went on my dealer right away.
I got this, but you should know there's a bunch more at that guy's house.
Where's my deal? I watch TV.
I can't hold pockets.
Or just a new black, right?
Yeah, exactly.
No.
Jesus Christ. So anyway, where are you going to be? I know Red Star tonight, but where do you do most of your open mics? In Tampa, St. Pete?
All over. Mostly Tampa. I mean, these open mics pop up and they vanish, within weeks. There was one mic that lasted 2 weeks.
Oh, really?
There was, but the consistent ones I'll go to. Cafe Hay, that's one on Thursday. There's ones that have been around for years, and so they have a reputation that aren't going anywhere.
Like John Jacobs puts on a bunch of these open mics, right? Around town and stuff like that. I mean, they can't all work out, obviously.
Yeah.
Because some venues, it just isn't working.
They can't hold up. And it's weird and it's different. I've heard of you're going to do a bowling alley coming up. Like, to me, I don't understand that. However, there's a bowling alley down the street that has laser tag and a skating rink.
That's awesome.
Okay, fine. You got my attention.
Yeah.
I guess I can work.
But if that's what I'm competing with, like, would you rather listen to jokes or play laser tag? I'm gonna go play laser tag.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, fuck you. I don't.
Maybe if it's coming through like the sound system and like that, you're trying to hide as you're playing and like you start laughing. Yeah.
Or you actually got the undivided attention of the parents whose kids are in there playing lazy tag.
Yeah, that's good.
You know what I mean? So they're in there playing laser tag, and you gave them something better than just drinking and.
I'll know I've made it when I'm doing shows at Chuck E. Cheese's.
Oh, when you're there, I'll be there.
That's the next level I'm striving
So
for.
are you waiting for the riot to break out? Have you seen those?
He wants
'Cause
his
those
next
are
playground
amazing.
experience.
Yeah, I'll be on the streets with a microphone. It's gonna be all right. Listen to these jokes.
What do you think about Chucky? This is nowhere near showbiz. Do you know showbiz? Oh, showbiz was like you know how there's checkers and there's rallies. So showbiz was Chuck E. Cheese and then showbiz. So it was almost Chucky, but not quite. And they played like Elvira.
Just cheese.
It was way cheese. And they had stuffed animals. So it was like, oh, I want to go to Chuck E. Cheese. No, sorry, we're going to showbiz.
Showbiz.
It was like the Walmart to the Target.
I thought it was Showtime though.
Showbiz, Showtime.
Showtime, yeah, that was the alternative to Chuck E. Cheese. Yeah,
makes sense.
It was like, instead of having Nikes, you had the sharks or whatever the hell they were. I don't know what they were. I think that's what I had.
I know what sharks are.
Right, they had an upside down Nike signs. I was like, Mom, you can't fool me.
Yeah.
You know what sharks are, really? Shoes?
Sharks?
Yeah. No, hell no. They didn't last long, man.
No, I was
shark shoes.
Shark shoes.
Only I know what they were, bro, because she could buy them with food stamps. No, just kidding.
Buy shoes with food stamps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you trade,
Shoe stamps.
If you trade enough of them.
I guess, yeah.
What is that? Showbiz. Oh.
I know my generic Chuck E. Cheese. What?
Was Chuck E. Cheese? Did you go to Chuck E. Cheese when you were a kid?
I stopped going when they took away the ball pits.
Did
they took away the ball pits?
Right, in my hometown, yeah.
What kind
Apparently
of
there's like a
place?
snake in it or something.
Oh, really?
I guess.
That was an old man. It was fun.
Oh, yeah. Someone's snake was in the ball pit.
It's cool.
Because now you got to come in and they tag you with your kids and all that. You know what I mean? So that people can't leave with your kid and shit.
Yeah.
My mom used to give my tag to someone else.
Yeah. Or take it, please.
Exactly.
I don't remember the tags.
It's recent. Well,
oh, good. Yeah, Mom let me just go play.
They branded us.
That's how they do it, Georgia.
Y'all bitches better recognize. Holy crap.
I didn't know they got rid of the ball pits. I can see because it's like a petri dish. It's just an amazing.
Yeah.
It's a plastic ball in it.
Kids are shitting in it and stuff. It'd be gross.
E. coli, H1N1. If you want the bird flu, you get it there. Anywhere else, you won't find it.
Really?
Yeah. It's a petri dish. It's like Panera bread. You know
Panera
how they had the
Panera bread.
The bread, the little bread out there. It's a petri dish. I will never touch that, unless I want to be immune to next year's flu.
Right.
Jesus Christ.
You're building your
build your immune system exactly. It's like what's that stupid airborne? It's like an airborne tablet. You just drop it in your drink. You had last year's STD.
An airborne tablet. I'm going to drop this in your drink so you don't get sick on the plane.
Shh. It's okay. Rudy, shush.
What in the hell just happened? Where'd you go, bro? Are you still with us?
I'm cool. What's up?
Just get out of a ball pit.
Did I miss something? What does this use?
So like we were talking about earlier with the comedians and all that, and Live at Sunset Strip was one of mine. Mm-hmm. But then Eddie Murphy, Delirious, and Rob were kind of back to back, awesome, right?
Yeah.
So one of the jokes that always stands out in your head is the ice cream joke obviously stands out,
right?
And the one about his mom and the boomerang shoe. Do you remember that?
How you get punished as a kid?
Yeah, when she could be anywhere in the fucking house, and then she would hit him and go right back to her and all that shit. Or Eddie, I'm taking half, Eddie. You know what I mean? So was there ever jokes that stood out in your head and just kind of have always been there?
Yeah, absolutely. The best jokes are the ones that change your perception of life.
That's what I'm saying.
Mitch Hedberg, for example, I'll never look at escalators the same way again. just even silly things like that. Just pointing things out.
Right.
But, you get life lessons, of course. With going back to Carlin, he was just a philosopher almost. and his outlooks on God and the world and everything.
Him and Louis
it's really
Black,
profound.
They're just so involved in it. It's sometimes it's overwhelming.
Yeah.
And other times it's like, God damn it, you're smart.
Yeah.
And you smoke pot. I don't understand.
Maybe there's something there.
I thought pot was bad.
I mean, do you like prop comics?
Pop comics?
Prop like
comics?
Carrot Top.
I mean, be honest. I mean, Carrot Top's not listening.
I love Carrot Top, so I don't.
I hear his show is great, but I mean, I'm not.
I mean,
not real. I mean,
it's not my type of comedy. Like, I love all comedy. If it's funny, I like it.
Yeah,
but it's just for me
personally, it's cheesy for me. It's
right.
If you create your own like sure there's an art behind it, like you're making your own prop, but it's not. It's kind of I find it just like it's a crutch.
That's what exactly how I feel about it. I mean, I can see if maybe for one part of a joke, if something is appropriate, you know what I mean,
right?
Fine. But for it to be a whole act is just too much for me. You know what I mean? Like Gallagher had a watermelon.
Yeah.
But he didn't necessarily use props throughout his whole comedy act. You know what I mean? That was one part, and I mean, goddamn, it was a phenomenon, right?
Yeah.
It worked.
I think you can only go so far with props. You know,
I agree.
If you just have dialogue, it's personal. You're talking about things that happen to you, how your outlook, and you can go as deep as you want.
Right.
With props, it's all on the surface. Yeah, it's funny. It's shallow stuff.
Like you said, it's a crutch, almost like the F word for some people. For some people, I mean, they feel like they have to have it. You know what I mean?
And I think that's why, like, a parody artist does it. You don't see that all the time because parodies are funny, but they run thin. John LaJoie, I think, is one of the guys that really stands out. You familiar with him? John LaJoie, he was on The League. I don't know if you ever saw The League. It was the fantasy football show.
I saw a couple episodes of that.
He was YouTube famous because he did these parodies like "Show Me Your Genitals."
I see,
and it was funny and it was stupid, crazy Canadian white guy.
Yeah,
and he saw a stand-up and it was cool, but those songs are forgettable.
Right.
And
it's a good exposure. I mean, if YouTube especially. A lot of comics have come from YouTube.
That was YouTube's prime.
Yeah. Well, look at Weird Al. He made a career out of it.
Yeah, and he did amazing marketing that last album, releasing one song a day, one video, in fact.
Yeah.
Because he had the help of Chris Hardwick with that whole kind of stand-up thing. Now that reminds me, before we go. What do they do? The comedy tour. Are you familiar with what I'm talking about? The hardball comedy tour. There was one that was supposed to come up here.
Oddball.
Uh-huh. What are your thoughts on something like a massive show like that? And then they had to collapse. This last one didn't do so well.
I heard.
What are your thoughts on that? Or like a concert series? Like,
I think it's great for comedy. On a bringing it to a mass audience, bringing great comics all together in one venue. But it's unfortunate that it doesn't sell and it has to be canceled. But I think as far as an idea and reaching out to an audience, I think it's a fantastic idea.
One of the worst things for me was they come here at like August.
Yeah. Oh.
At the goddamn amphitheater.
Yeah, in the heat.
Guess where I'm not going in August.
Yeah. Maybe that's a big reason.
Exactly. I mean, like, I think marketing and, selling it is a huge part of that. You know what I mean? That is important as shit. I mean, getting it out there to the right spots, to the right places, you know what I mean? Kind of like putting your newspaper stand in the right box in the right spot. Or like when we tried to go see Jonas, I put it together on a Sunday afternoon when there's fucking NFL football.
Yeah, you're competing with so much. I mean,
can't do that.
It's all you're fighting for people's attention and entertainment. You're fighting with NFL. You're fighting with music. You're fighting with not necessarily fighting, but you want
you're
people's
competing
attention.
with
Exactly,
that it's just not strong enough of a desire to do that. So one last thing before we go, these open mics. Do you run into the same comics?
Of course,
at a lot of them, right?
Of course.
I don't see a lot of videos from you guys. Have you guys ever thought about getting together and maybe getting videos of
I think it's the club. Is it the club that doesn't want you to video?
Well, you don't want to. As far as a comic, you don't want to make a video unless you are developed. Like if you're working on a joke, of course you can film it. But if your material is not where you want it to be, you don't want it out there.
Leave a sour taste in people's mouth. Gotcha. All right. Well, that was my last question. Thank you very much for coming in.
Thanks for
Appreciate
having me.
Appreciate it, man. And If you need an Uber home or something, we'll give you a ride.
Oh, no, I've got a ride.
John Jacobs just IM me. He
Yeah.
said he needs to go to Burger King. Anyway, thanks again, and we will bring people out to see you.
Thanks. Yeah.
Get the word out to us where you're going to be at open mics and stuff like that. And I'm going to talk to my wife about coming to see you tonight for a minute.
Cool.
And feel free to tag the Facebook page, the Open Mic Live Facebook page. Tag it. If you got something coming up.
Awesome.
Use it.
Yeah, we are your billboard.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, we
All
have
right.
no problem with that.
I mean, all 33 people on our page will pay attention.
Yeah, Open Mic Live.
Right.
There's 37 now. You got 55 on the Stanley Feud, so there's got to be at least 56.
Right. Yeah, but they like me.
Dozens and dozens.
Right. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. And remember, Mike said the funniest thing he's ever said tonight.
Is that what an
we need to
orgasm
book
tastes
Mike.
like? All right, we'll be back next week, 7 o'clock Thursday night. What do we got coming up next week? I know we've got a huge year just filled.
So next week is Eneria Medrano Turney. I don't know how to say it. I got to practice that one.
Wow.
Eneria Medrano Turney.
All right.
Funny lady.
We got G2P. No, G2P already did that. We got Gomez coming up in November.
Yep. Red Calling's going to be back. Got Clenched Fist. Matt Fernandez is in December.
And we'll, gosh, I'm excited. We
I'm
got a
pumped.
lot of good stuff coming up.
We do.
All right, guys, we'll see you next week, 7 o'clock next Thursday. Open Mic The Show. Open your mic, theshow.com. Check out our friends and family and everybody else there. See ya.